Hey everyone, welcome to my video. So today I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to do a simple cut crease. So cut crease is basically shadow above the lid, so just in the crease, and it's usually sharp and it stands out. It doesn't look too contrasty, so draggy potentially. It's more of a beautiful, elegant look to wear on a night out, or even if you just wanted to feel glam during the day. So firstly, my face completely nothing on it. I'm going to go ahead and just use my usual Revlon primer. This is a Photo Ready Prime and Anti-Shine. Next step is to apply my foundation. Now today I'm using something a little different to my usual Revlon color stay. That is the Chi Chi Fabulous and Flawless Foundation. The color that I use is 1 Ivory because I am very, very white. Additionally, to apply this, I'm actually going to be using a generic beauty blender dupe that I just got from eBay. They're about $1. I'll buy several at a time, wait a month or more for it to arrive. And as you can see, it's quite malleable. I've already wet this, so it's quite damp. And it's the type of rubbery material which isn't going to bend or break too easily. And for $1, oh my gosh,